Hello everyone, this is Eddie and this is my review for Destiny. Now, I've been playing this game since launch, but I'm a little bit too late just because I wanted to reach the max level, which is level 30, but I'm still level 29. And I'm gonna explain that later on in the video. So let's get on with the review. So yeah, without further ado, here is the review. So let's start with the story. The story is it is nothing but a joke. Now, I didn't get anything out of the story. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Suffer. Nothing. Like, I tried my best to understand the story, but the only thing that I understood was the opening cutscene, which explained a being called the Traveler coming to Earth, and the Traveler has helped humans advance in so many things, and the lifespan of humans has tripled, and blah blah blah. And then the darkness came, which are the Traveler's enemies, and they conquered every planet in our solar system, and the only thing that's left is just one city on Earth. Pretty good, right? Yeah. The opening scene made me want to know so much more about the story, but no, we didn't get anything out of the story. Nothing. Like, I didn't understand what was going on. All I understood is I'm gonna shoot this, shoot that, and that's it. And the story missions, how it basically worked was you go to point A, you deploy your ghost, and then go to point B, deploy your ghost again, shoot waves and waves and waves and waves and waves and waves of enemies until they're all down. And if you're lucky, you get to shoot something just to, find yourself a little bit something different to do just to end the mission. So the story was basically lackluster. I didn't enjoy the story in any single way. Now, the plus point for this is that you can do the story with your friends. You can bring 2 friends along with you to help you complete the story. Now, that being with friends is something really good when it comes to games. So yeah, as I mentioned, the game, all the story missions except one mission, which is the Sword of Korda, which you could wield the sword instead of using your gun to get rid of enemies, was the only different story missions in this game. The only different story mission in this game. And yeah, the game is so repetitive when it came to the story missions. Moving on, the gameplay. The shooting mechanics in this game is really fun. Like, you really have a blast shooting heads off of fallen enemies, which are aliens, to make it really simple, or the Cabals, or the Vex, or yeah, and the Hive, yeah. And the game is you'd feel at home when you play this game. Like, for every other player that plays shooters, you'd feel at home once you play the game. Like, it's nothing really difficult to handle. So the game, as I mentioned, is really much more fun when you play it with friends. You get to joke around, you get to get the missions done faster, and it becomes a lot easy when people can revive you from your death. And yeah, now what I hate about this game, and what I thought that I'd like in the beginning of the game, is that this game is a grind fest. Now, to be honest, to reach level 20 was kind of a grind fest. Like, I had to play a lot just to level up. But once you reach level 20 and you try to reach level 30, Bungie said that this is where the game starts. But to be honest, this is where the grinding really starts, and this is where you need to be lucky to complete the game, I guess. Now, to reach level 30, you need 4 gears, 3 which are raid gear, and 1 exotic armor. You have to level them up to the maximum. Now, I have 1 exotic and 2 raid gears, and the last piece, I'm just not lucky when it comes to getting raid gear. I was lucky on my first raid and I got 2 gears. And then on my up until now, like, it's been a month and a half that I've been trying to get just 1 single gear to reach level 30, and it just didn't happen. So it's all about luck to reach level 30. It's nothing about skill. It doesn't boil down to being skillful in this game. And that's what I don't like. You have to be lucky, and I'm certainly not lucky. Now, when you start the game, you get to customize your character, choose how they look, pick a hairstyle, pick a skin color, and so on. But it's not that in depth, but at least you get to customize what you look like. Now, to be honest, it's not that major, but I've seen so many people who look like me, except they wear a different gear or they're in a different class. The classes are basically, there are 3 classes, and there are 2 subclasses for each class. Now, I won't go in depth with that since this is not an in-depth review, this is just a review. But if you want to know more, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll let you know about the classes and the perks that each class has over the other. Now, what I noticed about these classes is that each class works better in a certain aspect of the game, like either in PvP, which is player versus player, or PvE, which is player versus everyone. Okay, moving on to the graphics. The graphics in this game look so beautiful, and I think Bungie has done a really good job when it came to, you know, designing the whole game world, and the textures in this game, they look really detailed and amazing. Like, say you're on Earth and you look at the sky, you look at the clouds, you'll see them move like in a realistic manner. And if you're on the moon, you'd see the you'd see Earth right there moving, and even the clouds are moving while the planet is spinning. Okay, now the PvE aspect of the game. The PvE aspect of the game boils down to 3 types. You have the story missions, which I've mentioned before, and you have the strikes, and you have the raids. The strikes are basically harder missions where you get to kill waves of enemies, and then you reach a boss who is a bullet sponge, and it will take a lot of time to kill them. But at least it makes it much more difficult to it's much more difficult, therefore I find it more enjoyable. Same thing goes to the raid. The raid is really, when you compare it to the story missions or the strikes, the raid is the best aspect in the game, the best thing in the game, to be honest. Like, it is so much fun, and the game mechanics in the raid is, it depends on the mechanics. Like, unlike the missions, you just kill this, kill that, and that's it. No, the raid has certain mechanics that you have to, there are certain things that you have to do to complete the raid. And it is tough, I won't deny it. It is tough when you do it on hard mode. Okay, moving on to the sounds. The sounds in this game are really amazing. There goes my phone. The sounds in this game are really, really well done. And the soundtracks in this game get you pumped up in shooting things, shooting aliens, shooting bosses, whatever. They'll get you pumped up, and you'll want to kill everything that comes into your way. Okay, the PvP. The PvP, there are 3 types of matches that you can have, which are the basic things that you can expect out of a shooter game. You have the control zones, and you have the free-for-all. You have 3 versus 3 matches, and you have the team deathmatch. And you also have the 2 timed events that we've seen so far, which are the Iron Banner and Salvage. Salvage is basically like controlling a zone, but except you play with 3 players instead of 6. Like, you're 3 versus 3 instead of 6 versus 6, and you get to you have to go to a certain zone and protect that zone. If the enemy kills you and they take the zone, you lost that round. Okay, and we have the Iron Banner, which is where your armor and your gear and your weapon count for everything in the game. Okay, moving on. The game world. Well, basically, let's start with the map. The map is Some people say that it's not huge, but I'd suggest that you go around the planet and see what you can find. Like, you'd be really surprised. It is not the biggest map ever, but it is quite, you know, it's bigger than other games, I guess. So my final verdict on this game is that it's a really fun game. You get, you know, a lot of replay value in the game. Like PvP is not the only thing in this game, unlike other games. So out of 10, I'd give it a 7.5. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you hit the like button, and if you want to see some more videos, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And yeah, peace.